Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kwadash. Give honor to the apostles, give honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Wakim, that are teaching the truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. I want to just usher in what's going on in America, mainly here in the States, in the city near you. Or how Jake like to say, in the hood near you. Things are about to pop off, man. Real things, man. From the apostles and elders on down to Yakim. Been saying this for years. And it's been manifest. The apostle said, look, Esau's going to use the right event, stage event, to bring on this new world order. And FEMA is a part of that new world order. We're in these times. We are in these times, man. The Lord's words do not lie. The title reads, FEMA is preparing for coronavirus emergency declaration. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on FEMA. You can Google FEMA, but mainly the YouTube videos shows in more detail how they got concentration camps where they can quarantine you, where they can just station you for a minute. You know, either have you all together as a family or divide you into groups, genders. You know, give you a number or a stamp, or maybe the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. They already put out there that, you know, the federal notes that's traveling through America might be maybe no good for use, because diseases like the coronavirus can be put on that in some type of way. That's what they're afraid of. So these things are manifesting themselves, like the Lord said through his prophets when they wrote these prophecies concerning these last days. Now I'm going to read from the top. It says, as Americans scramble to prepare themselves for the possibility that the coronavirus outbreak becomes a pandemic, FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, is also preparing. Remember years ago, well, not too long ago, maybe 5 years ago, DHS ordered billions of hollow point bullets, and it was imported in America. Why? That's the big question. Why? And a lot of people are not concerned, especially you Jakes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, you black people, you spicks, you tomahawks. For those of you that are not listening, taking heed to the word of the Lord, and not coming back to your nationality, which are Hebrew Israelites, you're just counted as a heathen. You're going to be destroyed. And the Lord said you was going to be destroyed. Satan is coming down with great wrath, man, with this coronavirus. They are truly not letting a catastrophe go to waste. The elite banking families and the shadow government, which are all joined into this new world order agenda, they are not letting this go to waste. And then in another level too, which they're not showing on the news as much, but you have a few articles going into the deaths in these neighborhoods in America, and mainly in Jake neighborhood. There's a lot of deaths, and the Most High about to judge this place, which he is, and he's about to have these troops come in you Jake's neighborhoods, which they need to. It's a very need. And these race riots are going to pop off as well. Hurricane Katrina, which I advise you Wakim and Agwath to go watch the Katrina documentary, what really happened down there when that flood affected that land. And they was in the Superdome for weeks, days, weeks. Nothing in that working, yo. Everybody in there for themselves. People getting raped, killed, fighting, shooting, stabbing. People are dying in there from sickness. And Esau was shooting you down. The same thing is about to happen, man. Another great catastrophe is about to happen after this too. It's just gonna get worse, and the Most High he's closing the doors right now for salvation. The elect is about to be sealed. Like Apostle Hart said, the elect are already sealed. But all of these things have to play out. It says FEMA officials are preparing for an infectious disease emergency declaration by the president that will allow the agency to provide disasters relief funding to state and local governments, as well as federal assistance to support the coronavirus response. According to agency planning document reviewed by NBC News, the Trump administration would have to use the 1988 Stafford Act to enable FEMA to provide such disaster assistance. Now, going back, why would they have something like this in the workings in 1988? Just in case something like this happened? And you can say, well, you know, they preparing just in case the disease. It never in history has been an outbreak like that, except for the mid-ages with the bubonic plague. You know, the Byzantine Empire got caught up with that plague. But it wasn't everybody, and they really needed everybody, though, because that wall that the Byzantine Empire couldn't really hold for that long, and we needed to fight too as well. It was mainly Jake in that time, and Byzantine Empire, which Constantinople was the first ruler in that, which was a Jake. But anyway, now all of a sudden they're preparing for a great catastrophe years later. No, they planned this already. They been planning this, yo. Esau is a mastermind of deceit. Emergency declaration are most often used in the event of natural disasters, but can be used to help manage disease outbreaks. Why the hell they ain't prepared that when they came over here with those small pots blankets and giving it to Gad and Reuben, you know, so-called Native American Indians and Seminole Indians. You know, they bringing that disease and slaughtering our people over here in this land and taking our people from over there, West Africa, certain parts of Europe, putting us in slavery. Why they ain't take precautions then? But anyway, not to segue to another area, but just to show you how Esau is getting tripped up with his own lies. Esau is a bit deceiver, man. He causes the chaos, and he funds the solution, which he's doing right now. To me, this is another indication that the president and the White House are finally aware of the gravity of the situation, said Michael Cohen, who was FEMA chief of staff during the Obama administration. Now that's important too, because Obama declared that, or he wrote out that he signed off on that NDAA, National Defense Administration Agency, if I'm not mistaken, which goes into confiscating anything from you and your property and stuff like that, et cetera, and locking down everything. Curfews, which everybody in America has signed off on, whether they believe it or not. And when you first signed off on it, with your birth certificate, our parents give, you know, us over to the state and stuff like that. So we basically the government property. And it's been like that ever since Abraham Lincoln signed that Proclamation of Emancipation. It was just a trade-off. Now, reading on, it says how to prepare your home for quarantine, for a pandemic. FEMA Disaster Relief Fund has a current balance of $34 billion. It's money that sit there and ready, said the former FEMA officials who declined to be identified. See, and it's ready. So they been prepared, man. And it's gonna go down. They're gonna make it seem like it's all friendly. But man, it's about to go down, man. Them horns is coming off, yo. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 70. For there should be in every place and in the net cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And it is. It's coming. It's coming, yo. We're not going to be on the highways any much longer. Because the Lord see fit now that this is the time that Esau's supposed to go down and we're supposed to come up. Jacob. Whether you believe it or not. Verse 71, they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Verse 72, because they're gonna come and do their thing, man. They're gonna come and do their thing, yo. You know, they should be like madmen, sparing none. They're gonna come with their rifles, their AKs, red beans, green beans, and all type of weaponry and deceitfulness that they're coming against us with. Not only us, but everybody in America, even their own. When the Lord said He should go to the house of Israel first, a lot of these curses is about to get intensified on you jakes that are not taking heed to the Lord's doctrine. That's why a lot of you J's getting caught out there, and you don't even know it. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. The Lord fatten your heart so you can't see. You know, think you're going to escape with just good mere thought for only temporary use. The Most High ain't with that. The Lord either saying you with righteousness or you just with wickedness. There's no in between. It says right here, it says, verse 72, for they should waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So they're going to take away our goods. They're going to throw us out of our houses. You know what I mean? They're going to do those things, yo. Verse 73, then should they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as the gold in the fire. And that's what's happening right now. We, the lowly of the lowly, are going to be known as the Lord's chosen, whomever we are and wherever we may be across the four corners of the earth, no matter what. If you in Hades, you in the lowest parts of Hades, the Most High chose you to be elect, which Hades is from the tribe of Levi, by the way. The priesthood, the Lord can save you up out of that. The Lord's going to save you up out of that. True Israel over there in the Philippines, or Israelite over there in California, Canada, wherever you may be, because the Lord said in Isaiah chapter 43, He should take His sons and daughters from the four corners of the earth, from the uttermost parts of the earth. And we're way in the Western Hemisphere. You know, in America. And through our everyday life, we go through trials and tribulations. That's the Lord trying us. Because the way you live your life, it has to be according to the Lord. It can't be according to how you think it should be as priority in a mirror corner way. It has to be about Yahweh Yahushua, because they made it for us. We are in the image of the Most High and the Son. We are righteous. And it says, verse 74, "Hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." See, the Lord just said he would deliver us, yo. So ain't no way that we should be troubled. We are going to be troubled, because some of us are going to be martyrs, meaning witnesses who get put to death for Yahweh Yahushua. But the Lord said he will still deliver us from the same, meaning we're not going to suffer as Jake do. Jake may get his head cut off and still may be living, shaking and everything, until it's just that time. You know, I even seen videos on YouTube from Jake getting shot in New Orleans and stuff like that, and they just be in their body, and the police and ambulance be there, but they just didn't do nothing that time, and the dude was just shaking on camera, like his body, he was just like his soul was ready to leave his body. The Lord ain't gonna put us through that. You may not even feel it. It's just gonna be so quick, like a nightmare. But we actually living it. But at the same time, the Lord's gonna deliver us out of it. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. See, so we shouldn't doubt what the people say on the comment boards, or what they say on the news about us, or even people that don't know that we're in the truth. You know what I mean? At your job or anywhere. Because the Lord did say, remember to entertain strangers. You never know who you may be, might be, or might meet. You know what I mean? The Lord said, be peaceable, if possible, amongst all men. That's why the Apostle Bar made that video, don't go out here as lions, but as sheep. Because the Lord said he would deliver us out of the same. He said trouble is going to be at hand. Trouble is at hand. But he would deliver us from the same. So we can't rely on carnal things like weapons and, you know, our fight game or however, you know, because if you trapped in the corner, the Lord understands. If you trapped in the corner, what else you gonna do to get out? You just gonna lay there? I mean, no offense to our Lord and Savior, because what he went through, you know, he was in front of the government, the judges. Like, he was in front of the authorities. He wasn't just out at a club or anywhere or a gas station. You know what I mean? Which he probably could have got it just away too, just like he did the other people. That's a whole another story. When they were about to throw him off the cliff and he just went through the crowd. But the Lord may just have us do that, you know what I mean? Because the Lord is merciful, and he is powerful, and he said that we're going to do greater works than he did, because he go to the Father. I says, for Yahweh is your God. See, the Most High is our God. So we ain't got nothing to worry about, Hakeem. These times is epic, man. It is beautiful, man, and you know, the Most High giving us this knowledge and understanding, the brotherhood, and how to be sober mind, etc. Which I'm gonna get this scripture, because this is what we should be keeping our minds on, or our affections on, the things that are above. Because the carnal mind is enmity towards the Heavenly Father. Especially in these last days, the Most High is taking Jake out. He said he's showing up at the house of Israel first. He's cutting off 2/3 right now, man. and they sleep in their car, and they just got at their wedding, wherever, yo. Lord speeding up the time for the elect sake. So this is what mindset we should be in while these things are happening. Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth. Yeah, we ain't worry about wearing no masks for the coronavirus. You know, if a brother want to do that, I mean, you know, I'm not saying, you know, that you ain't research and, you know, find out how you can catch it and stuff like that. I ain't knocking that, but I am saying, like, for how I'm seeing it and how other brothers see it too, we ain't wearing no masks or nothing like that, you know, because the Most High sent it. You know, we do eat herbs and try to stay healthy, but it is what it is out here, man. The Most High says He's going to cause these things, and He says He's going to deliver us from it. So we just hold our faith in that. Verse 3, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mashiach in Yahweh. So we ain't out here trying to get that vainglory like these other camps and Jake in the world. But because we're hid in Yahweh Shai. And we hid in Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. You know, we dead to this world. We don't go, you know, to these vain things like these festivities that Jake them be celebrate wholeheartedly and just being filled with guile and vile, man. Because majority of these parties and get together that Jake have, man, a lot of people just get killed for no reason. Murdered, should I say. Because kill is a righteous thing, murder is a wicked thing. Because it's premeditated or just off ignorance. But we are here from that. You know, we young and certain brothers are young. But the Lord got us hid from this persona that Esau likes to project young Jake men. You know, like I said, those are heathens, 2/3. They're really not Jake anyway. Only the spiritual seed of Abraham is Jake, or deserve the name Jake. When Mashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. And that's going to be that standard that the Most High is going to set up in us when they're coming in like a flood. I'm going to read this last scripture, then I'm going to wrap it up. Psalm chapter 139, verse 7. Whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. So the Most High is always with us, Akin. No matter what, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do, man. The scriptures does say we should be in prison for 10 days. This FEMA thing ain't no joke, man. But the Most High is with us. You know, ever since the time of Adam and Eve, we made our bed in hell because we got sentenced to death until Yahweh Shai came back on the scene and restored us to life. And now, you know, the Lord is with us. He always been with us. Because he said he would put those, you know, I mean, not to segue into another part, but he had Adam and Eve even when they went off. Even when they made their bed in hell. So, I mean, made their bed in hell by sinning against the Lord. Behold, thou art there. So the Most High is here, man. And he's going to deliver us out of this hell that we're in and get us into our bed of rest. In fact, I'm going to read that one last scripture. This is Psalms chapter 126, verse 2. No, verse 1. When the Lord, Slakia, Psalms chapter 126, verse 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. See? He's going to turn our captivity. I mean, the table's going to turn to our enemies being in captivity under us and the rest of these heathen nations. Which, main enemy is Esau, but the rest of these nations, y'all are enemies too as well. Verse 2, then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. It's going to happen that way, man. This nightmare that we're living in right now is going to be turned into like we just waking up from a nightmare, man. It was just all a dream, y'all. But it's only going to be a certain few that's going to enjoy that laughter for that first 1,000 years, though. It's really going to enjoy. We're going to enjoy it forever and ever, ages on out. But the elect who get saved on this go round is going to really enjoy that laughter, yo, and singing. That's going to be a memorial right there. All we got to do is endure, man. The Lord is hastening the day for the elect's sake. Like I said in 2 chapter 9, verse 1, measured out the time diligently within itself. Because it's the very same time we're in the heights of visited earth, and he's about to visit this earth. And that's all I really got on that. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise and honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Shah, Kum, the elect, Shalom.